Hello and welcome back to Unite Pieces Movie Recap. Today, we are excited to recap an action movie from 2006, titled Crank. The movie focuses on a hitman named Chev Chelios, who is poisoned by criminal Verona and his friend. Chev meets his girlfriend Eve and together he seeks out Verona to kill her. So, take a seat, prepare some snacks, and without further ado, let's get into the video. At the beginning of the movie we will be shown with a hitman named Chev Chelios, who is seen struggling to get up after waking up from his sleep. While in the living room, he saw a suspicious DVD cassette. When this cassette was played, he was shocked because it turned out that he had been poisoned while asleep by a hitman named Verona. In the tape, Verona also explained that Chelios would die within 2 hours after the poison was injected. Knowing this, Chelios immediately went to look for Verona's whereabouts. On the way he contacted his friend named Kalo to find information about Verona's whereabouts. After that, because of his increasingly weak state, he immediately contacted his personal doctor named Miles for help, but unfortunately at that time Dr. Miles was out of town. After getting a brief explanation of what happened to Chelios, Miles' assistant doctor, who was in charge at the time, suggested that Chelios increase his adrenaline to slow down the spread of the poison in his body. She also said that there was a drug or some kind of drug to increase adrenaline, which was now in the hospital, which Dr. Miles had previously destroyed. Chelios, who heard that, immediately did a lot of crazy things, so that he could slow down the effects of the poison while looking for Verona's whereabouts. He started his crazy action by making a scene at the Black Gang headquarters, which was nearby. Then he stole a lot of food and drinks at a mini-market. Not only that, he also went to a pharmacy to steal the medicine that had been destroyed by Dr. Miles before. However, it turns out that currently the drug is not traded in pharmacies because it must be according to a doctor's prescription, and the drug is only available in special hospitals. Without thinking, he immediately went to the hospital to look for the drug, but unfortunately his efforts were not fruitful at all. After all the mess he made, he was chased by the police, and it was well utilized by Chelios to spur his adrenaline. In his escape, he accidentally met an emergency patient, and he even threatened the medical staff to give him a pacemaker, and even asked for an adrenaline injection, so that the effects of the poison in his body could be slightly tamed, and after that he immediately left the hospital. However, the police are still chasing him. He was seen driving his car into a mall, after which he immediately got out of the car and immediately left there. Short story: Chelios went to see his boss named Carlito. There Chelios asked his boss for help, to help him find and kill Verona. Unfortunately, Carlito was not interested in helping Chelios at all, and the fact was revealed if it turned out that Carlito was the one who told Verona to finish off Chelios. This is because Chelios' last mission was carried out last night. At that time he was asked to kill the Triad gang leader named Don Kim on his orders, but Carlito did not want to bear the death of the Triad gang leader, because it would cost a lot of money if he fought against the Triad gang, until Carlito finally made Chelios a scapegoat and told Verona to kill him. This made Chelios angry with Carlito, but because he was outnumbered, he could only listen and grin while saying goodbye. On his way back, he got a call from Kalo. Here Kalo informed him that he was currently seeing Verona's older brother, and revealed the fact that Verona's older brother took part in poisoning Chelios. Immediately Chelios came to the place, and without much ado Chelios and Kalo immediately finished off Verona's brother. Then Chelios took his cell phone and contacted Verona. Here Chelios said if he had killed his brother. Verona, who heard that, was very angry. He then threatened to kidnap and rape Chelios' girlfriend. Long story short, Chelios came to his girlfriend's place named Eve, to ensure her safety and protect her. Chelios took Eve to a place, where on his way he saw a suspicious man. He immediately killed the man without mercy. Arriving at a place to eat, Chelios revealed his true identity to Eve, aka saying that he was not a programmer who had been reported, but he was a professional hitman. Not only that, Chelios also told her about the problems he was facing at the moment. Revealed the fact, if it turned out that Chelios had not previously killed the Triad boss, he only told him to go out of town and fake his death, because Chelios also actually wanted to retire from his job, live a normal life, and build a harmonious family with Eve. Hearing all Chelios' explanations, Eve was very disappointed, and Eve immediately left Chelios. Chelios was seen trying to catch up and apologize to Eve, but suddenly the effects of the poison began to act. When his heart began to weaken, Chelios asks Eve for permission to take off her clothes so he could get an adrenaline rush, but Eve was immediately angry and refused the strange request from her boyfriend. But when Eve saw Chelios' deteriorating condition, she willingly complied with Chelios' request. Their intimate scene became a spectacle for the residents around. Not a few residents who watched it cheered. After feeling better, Chelios immediately released his stab. Shortly after that he got a call from Kalo. Here Kalo told Chelios if he had been caught by Carlito. He also said if Carlito ordered Chelios not to make a mess anymore, because it would make his reputation bad. After knowing where Kalo was kept, Chelios immediately rushed to leave his girlfriend, who was still in a state of shame after having sex in a public place. Arriving at the place, it turned out that Chelios was too late because at that time Kalo had been killed by Carlito. When the tension occurred, Chelios was suddenly surprised by his girlfriend who came following him to the place, and not long after the shootout took place. In short, Chelios and Eve managed to escape from the building and drove away. In the car, the poison again affected Chelios' body. Eve, who saw it, voluntarily contributed to raising Chelios' adrenaline, so that the poison would not spread quickly. Short story. Chelios also arrived at Dr. Miles, who had just returned from out of town. There Dr. Miles began to examine Chelios' condition. Dr. Miles said that Chelios should be included in the 7 wonders of the world, because he was able to survive this long from the deadly poison. Here Dr. Miles explained that he could not cure Chelios completely, but he could only provide an Enorban pump device that would make the poison react longer. Then after feeling his body was fit enough, Chelios immediately called Verona, to invite him to meet at the tallest building in the city. With high confidence, Verona agreed to the invitation to the meeting. After that Verona contacted Carlito to help him finish Chelios. Arriving there, apparently Chelios' arrival was awaited by Verona, Carlito, and all his men with complete weaponry. Here Chelios asked Verona for an antidote, then he would forget what had happened. However, it turns out that the poison until now has no cure. It seems that Carlito even issued another dose of the poison, because he felt that one dose of poison was not enough to kill Chelios. Then Chelios acted like an insane person, because he pointed his hand as if it were a gun. But when Chelios pointed his hand at Carlito's men, suddenly Chelios came there not alone, but he was assisted by Don and his men, until the battle between gangs was inevitable. In the chaos, all of Carlito's men were killed, while he immediately fled to a helicopter. Chelios, who saw it, immediately chased him. Just before Chelios finished Carlito, Verona suddenly came and injected another dose of poison into his body, so that he passed out. While Carlito, who thought he had been saved by Verona, turned out to be betrayed, because Verona immediately finished him. After boarding the helicopter, Verona immediately bullied the pilot to fly it immediately. Fortunately, a miracle happened because it turned out that Chelios regained his consciousness, and immediately got into the helicopter. There he dueled with Verona, until finally he fell down with Verona. While falling in the air, Chelios was seen trying hard to break Verona's neck. After that Chelios, who felt everything would end, took his cell phone and called his girlfriend. He said his apologies because he did not return alive. Shortly afterwards he hurtles towards the car, and bounces to the ground, and the movie ends. What do you think of this movie? Please write your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and support our channel by subscribing, so that we stay motivated to create more interesting content for you to enjoy. And until next time.